Welcome everyone to another episode of Everyone Truly Agree. I'm your host, Wayne Johnson, and we have a very special guest, Bill Whittle, Senior National Sales Director, Financial Service at Primerica. We're so excited to have you on set today, Bill. And just welcome. I guess just good to have you on set.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, Travis. Yeah, Bill Whittle. I'm once again from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Not actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. Played my high school basketball and stuff like that. I was born in a little town called Alexander City, Alabama. Population about the size of a high school. And then my parents moved up to the state of Indiana to give us kids a little bit better life. My dad went up there and drove a forklift. That's where he got killed at age 33. My mom went up there to work at a cabinet shop, and that's where she lost her left hand at age 27 after my father got killed. And we grew up there. And then my parents, my mom moved back down to Alabama, down around the Dayton area, to try to take care of her parents before they died. And so I grew up there, and I came back down to Louisiana State University in 1969 to play basketball for the Tigers. Got out, stayed there ever since. Coached for about 8 or 9 years, getting ready to go into college coaching. Got into business. Never intended to get into business, but I got in the business world to be able to provide a little bit more for my family. They became very successful with that, and that's what I've been doing for the last 45 years. Married for 49 years, going my 5th year of being married. Got 2 wonderful children and 4 grandbabies, and so life's good.
Life is good. So I started out, I was a little bit nervous. But life is good, and I like that. Life is good. And so the reason we're here, we came into the Atmore Mobile area in Pensacola.
Yep.
And so a lot of people in those areas have no knowledge of Primerica.
Right.
And so what we wanted to do was get interviews to make people feel a little bit more comfortable with the advantages and all the things that come with business. Especially coming from a small town, And so here we are, like sometimes that Primerica only has 3% of the market.
Right.
And so these are kitchen table items that everybody, have them in their home. And so that's why it's so important to have you on a second day to talk about some kitchen table items that people in the Mobile and the Pensacola area, they're looking for Primerica, and they're looking for another way out, but just don't know how to get access to it. Because the reason I say that, I'm that guy.
Right.
That I looking for something.
Me too.
And so here it is, Nehemiah Cooler called me about a year ago, and in his voice, I heard something that had a ring from it. It's sort of like God, when God sends a raven of provision to somebody like he did the prophet at the
Right.
And so he said, I'm saying ravens with an S to bring provisions twice a day. And so when I heard that, I heard the voice of a raven, and I heard God telling me, he said, listen to what he said. And so when I did, I came here and I began to hear leadership and skill set and control the stuff that I had heard before. It elevated me to a new level of thinking. And so then when I came to Mobile for the first time when I heard you, I said, this guy is from a whole different level. And so the skill set and the motivation and the mindset transformed me. And if it transformed me, I know it's going to do a lot for our community. Because our community are going through a lot of problems because of what? The lack of financial inclusion.
Right.
When you signed that book for me, how much works, I feel God, and I said, man, this is going to change my life because I know families are hurting because I've been there before where my family was hurting.
Right. I think the big thing there is you brought him to use the word early on in the conversation. It really is a mindset because I grew up thinking it was okay to be broke, thinking it was okay to be abstinent, which I think it is. I mean, I think sometimes some of the blessed people in the world are those who are okay with being okay. It's just that if you can't do any better, that's one thing. If you can't do better, the scripture talks real strong about to be blessed, to be able to be a blessing. You can only give from the overflow. So I think about when I was broke and I was coaching, and I was very happy. Don't get me wrong. I've always been a very, very happy person. Been very blessed. I've always been very successful. I was an outstanding high school basketball player. I was an outstanding college player at LSU. I was an outstanding coach. But I never had money. But I was never money motivated. but I was motivated by what money would do. Now, initially it was all about me. I wanted the cars, I wanted nice clothes, I wanted to be able to, do the things like that, but I never had the money to do it, but I always did it. So the way I did it, I'd work like a dog. I mean, I remember my dad said the great equalizer is hard work, but I also saw my dad get killed. He was 33 driving a forklift. I saw my mom get that left hand chopped off and go to work the next day, because I grew up thinking hard work, hard work, hard work. You become it's called an identity. Yeah. And you start thinking the only way I can be successful, the only way I identify success is hard work. Well, sometimes it doesn't pay off. Right. That you see a lot of people work hard, but they're broke. A lot of people work hard, but they're miserable. I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to have a great family. I wanted to be a great father, a great husband, a great believer, a great Christian, but I also wanted to make an impact. Income was never that big to me. Impact was the big thing. But then I started thinking, the more income I had, the more impact I could make. Because once you can pray for people, but you know what? At the end of the day, I want to know, can you help me? Can you show me? And you brought it up a minute ago. The Bible says you have to you do not conform. Don't be part of this world, but be transformed by renewing your mind. So you said a mindset. I had a mindset of a middle class and below. So we grew up, wasn't poor, it's like Ziegler, it's perfect. Okay, you're down here, okay? And it was almost like I was okay with it. And yet I always think, boy, wouldn't it be nice to have that kind of car, live in that kind of home, go on those kind of vacations, and have those kind of clothes, and not be embarrassed. And I said, prideful, I understand that. But I just didn't like living the way I was living. And here's why. I knew I could be more. I knew I could be more, but I wasn't doing what I needed to become more. I was not willing. That's not true. I didn't have the knowledge, the skill set, you brought it up, to make that transition into becoming more in my life. I did that. I knew that athletically. I knew that coaching-wise in my career, but I didn't know how to do that financially. So when I was exposed to this company, the timing was right. They were looking for me, I was looking for them, and at the timing when we met, it was perfect. People ask me all the time, how'd you go from being 29 years old, you didn't have any money, didn't have this, and my wife was making all the money selling real estate, I was coaching, living my life passion, but when I saw this, I said, I could do this, and I could still coach, I could still impact people's lives, but just do it with a different vehicle. And so 4 years later, I'd become a millionaire. I was making $16,000 a year, 29-year-old kid. 33, I was a cash millionaire, making an insane amount of money. Then I became a multi-millionaire. I was very wealthy, but it's because I used I took all the same skills, leadership, people skills, and just put it into a vehicle, and my life changed. Now I've been able to make an impact all over the world because I support ministries and missions, but I also impact other people. And the calls I get, the texts I get, the emails I get, the people I speak with, when they say, boy, you've helped me to be a better father, a better mother, a better believer, I've kept myself in shape physically, that to me is an impact. However, I don't want to leave there and them thinking that they're still broke and they can't do anything, because that doesn't further the kingdom of the Lord either. So,
in the Bible it talks about followership, right? See, the followers in Christ, right? To follow me as I follow Christ. And so, coming from, like I told you, I was putting this on reading to 45, 46, and I was black. Then here, the embarrassment of not having those two tools in your toolbox.
Right.
So if you did get, I was mechanically inclined.
Right.
Leadership
Right.
I was missing two tools. If you promoted me to that position, I had to do a report or do some paperwork, that disqualified. Right. Because see, somebody that was behind me is going to see my weakness, and they were going to say, he can't counter that, so I want his position. But here it is. This is the thing that I see that happens to a lot of people. Go in and put the work in, because see, if you want it bad enough, you're going to do something that's going to change their life.
That's right.
So here's God before the foundation of the world, Jeremiah 29 and 11. He said, I know the thoughts that I think towards you. See, that toward me, that's my future. So God, he said, I knew you, just like he was talking about the gun. Right. He said, I knew you when you was a thought in your dad and
That's
your
right.
mama's life.
Exactly.
Then I knew you when you were in here.
That's right.
I see to bring forth the expected end.
Right.
And so the expected end was that one day I was going back fishing with my two friends. One Sunday evening after getting real quiet, changed my life. My father-in-law was a bass fisherman. He would catch 10, 12-pound bass, but he used minnows and wigglers and stuff like that. So here's my skill set and my mindset, catching bass the way he did. So he going in the boat, they got their bass, they casting reel, Texas reel. I'm thinking to myself, I said, I'm free there and catching. Right, you know what I'm saying? I was saying, you know, because here I got a bucket of minnows and wigglers, and they're saying the same thing about me in their mind, not talking. But when my friend got in that boat, he could score that boat up there and came to a big body of water. He checked that thing right. You go out there, it's going to work that rod tip in again. And that line started sailing through that. And he was catching bass like that. It changed him with that. So I said, catching fish are two different methods. Right. And so until you are willing to change and use another method, you can never go to the next level.
Right, right.
Because so your mind will hold you captive.
Absolutely.
Your core belief is in your subconscious mind. Right. And so here is my subconscious mind, my core belief is the only thing I do is what my father-in-law told me. That's right. Come on now. Then now I'm in another group. Here I got new mentors. New people are training me and showing me how to do what successful and get the same results with their team.
Yeah. And so it's also a skill, which you said, because a skill, leadership, a friend of mine, John Maxwell, he's a top leadership trainer in the world. And John always says that everybody says it's about leadership. It's not, it used to be the old thought, well, they're born. That's not true. They are born, obviously they're born. But it's a skill, it's learned. Yeah. So you can learn like you learned a different skill of fishing. Now you knew how to fish, but you really didn't know how to become a great fisherman until what? Until you observed it and you were willing to change. Right. And there's a thing in the psychological word called learned helplessness. So a lot of us grew up, you might have grown up thinking, I can't learn because either I'm black or I can't read or this or that. I learned things or this, that, and the other. But really, I didn't have a lot of boundaries because my dad, my mom taught me really, nobody's better than you, but you're not better than anybody. Right. But if you want what they have, just go get it, go work. And my dad taught me a great equalizer when I was getting ready to get in a fight one time as a young kid. I was only 10 years old. I knew I couldn't whip the guy. I said, Dad, he's going to beat me. He said, if you run, you're going to get whipped when you get home. I said, well, I'm getting a whip either way. He said, I said, what am I can't beat him. He said, find any point. I said, what do you mean, Dad? He said, a brick, a stick. He said, don't run. Well, he was trying to teach me hard work. Right. Hard work's a great equalizer. Right. Well, skill development is hard because it's a change. It's outside your comfort zone. Right. Anything that's not natural, normal, is not going to make you successful. So a skill can be learned. So leadership, sales, anything that you want to learn is a skill because that's what it means to learn. And you can get better at this. So if you really want to make an impact on people's lives, then you got to learn the leadership skill, and that's what you can learn.
Well, and glad you said that because I had another friend. He had went to college with his family and very successful. So now, Tankeya showed you things about life that I didn't know. Wow. He took me to the first restaurant, and really, he did. He transformed me, and when he became successful. When you're friends with people, they become successful. Pride is trying to be eyes up, jealousy. Right. And he bought a house in Mercedes-Benz one night, and that jealousy rose up inside of me. Mm-hmm. Something came to me. I know it was God. I would never get jealous of my friend. Mm-hmm. Why would God put me here, Kevin, if I'm not going where he's going? That's good. I said, one day, just like his house had come, his car has changed, his money has changed. I said, one day, my house is going to come, my car is going to come, and my money's going to come. Because I'm going to be just like him. Mm. Because I respect him, and I knew he was placed in my heart by a divine appointment. That's good. So when people come into your life by divine appointment, God ordained, Jeremiah 29:11, he said, I know the cost that I pulled to bring forth and expected it. So God is in my life, expected in me a blessed life, a prosperous life, a success life. And so God knew I had a leadership skill set, but he had to use people to bring out what that's what it does. And I tell people a lot of times, I say, everybody in the morning when they go to the bathroom, so you can take that toothpaste, hold it in your hand, you got your toothbrush in one, take the top off the teeth. The toothbrush in here. I said nothing will never come out. You stand there and sit down until you put pressure on. When you apply pressure on that tooth, the paste comes out of your toothbrush and you're able to get clear the level function. And God knew He had to put pressure on me to bring out what He deposited.
That's right.
And so here it is now. I met you. I came there and I shook your hand. And the day that I shook your hand and I healed, I said, a point of contact.
Mm.
And so sometimes we reach out to shake people's hands, but I'm like the woman that had the issue of blood. If I could just touch this, if I could just. And so I was praying because I said, Lord, for me to go to the level that I want to go to be like this guy here, I gotta have a point of contact that my faith can have something to touch. And I tell people, I said, well, if you took this phone and I touched it, and it just had a crime scene, my fingerprints and my DNA is on it. So when I shook Bill Whittle's hand, my DNA and my fingerprint is on him, and so his is on me. And so it's something that causes man to change when you see an opportunity. And I'm gonna ask you this question here. This thing has been on. Why are so many people having so many financial challenges, and how does Primerica into those challenges?
I think a big part what you said. We've always had the concept of kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball. Social media, I think, has been one of the greatest inventions, maybe of all time. But it's also been a really, really big hindrance to, so if you think about social distancing, okay, we're built for communism. We were built in the image of God, and He wanted communion. He came here to be with us, not to be separate from us, but to be with us, to unify us, okay? And when you think about it during COVID stuff and the social distancing, that this country has been so divided, not because it's economics or political stuff, it's because we were all distanced, because people, as just human nature, we're designed to be in communication, be in common, to be around each other, to nourish each other, to strengthen each other. And I think when you look at most people's financial situation, it's just that they don't have the desire to become educated financially. They just don't have the connection with those people that can adequately bring them the information. And so when we developed our company, Primerica, our whole concept with the founder of the company, Art Williams, he said, we want to be known as a company that built more financially independent families than anybody had ever done in the history of American business, and we've done that. But he said, we're going to do that by, we reach out and we do the discipleship principle. We touch our neighbors, our family, we help them. Then first of all, we take care of ourselves. Get yourself set financially. Do your financial analysis. Learn how money works. Become financially literate, because it's not that complicated. It's just simply math. We're not talking about algebra and things like that. I was full of that. But I know 2 + 2 is 4. And the thing that helps you make you financially in business is live below your means. Don't buy things you can't afford. Take cash, invest wisely. All the things. High cost of waiting. Wait. Don't buy it if you can't. Don't fake it till you make it. Do all these things. I was violating every principle there was, but I got a plan because I had a goal. I keep get a goal, get a plan, get started. Well, I never had a financial goal. I was just going to make money. But that ain't a goal. I was just had a job. That's not a goal. I had a goal of winning games when I was coaching, but in my financial life, I had no goal. So when I came here, the first time I had ever heard of getting a financial goal. Become financially independent. Well, I didn't know what financially independent meant. Become wealthy. I didn't know what wealthy meant. Those are terms I thought, no way somebody coming from my background could ever be those. And I realized, no, most people that get financially independent, become wealthy, they didn't get there by being there. They didn't start out that way. They built to that. Right. So I said, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Tell me how to do it. So somebody said, here's how you do it. Now the question is, are you willing to do one that? And if they're willing to stay there, so we help them get that plan by going kneecap to kneecap, friends, neighbors, relatives, and help them do the same thing. And pretty soon, it's like the farmer said, I don't need all the land, just give me the land next to my land, eventually I'll have all the land. And that's what we've done. We've just taken this thing and we've done it like a pebble getting this. We've done this all across the nation. Now we're the largest, and we've created more financially independent families than anybody's ever done by educating people. And now they're self-educated, so now they can start teaching generational wealth, not just that family, but how can their kids and their kids and their kids become wealthy, and that's what will change society. The number one reason for stress, divorce, indiscretion is, as people say, well, money's not everything. That's the number one reason for all those things. Anything is money. Now, we all know it's a spiritual, okay? But that financial stress, so if you eliminate that, you can eliminate a lot of things, because they say money can't buy happiness. You've been shopping in one place, okay? I was happy when I broke, but I'm way happy. Okay? And so if you can eliminate that, think about how many families, like when the man or woman come home and they're mean to the kids, and said 9 times out of 10, or Zig Zig would say this, a great motivational speaker from Mississippi. He said you can get a speeding ticket. You can yell at the cop, you can come home and yell at your wife, go to this office, yell at your secretary, and you can go home and kick the cat. He said you could eliminate it being mean to everybody else, just go straight home and kick the cat, okay? Well, we blame a lot of things, and we got to take reason of why is that? I'm under financial stress, why? Because you're making the bad decisions. What should be the answer? What are the right decisions? We teach how money works, and it's that simple. And once you learn it, then it's a matter of just having a plan to apply the principles. How does money work? And it's a simple thing, and anybody can become financial. Anybody. You can make. I got a housekeeper, a babysitter. She just makes minimum, but she's already a millionaire because she saved all of her money for the last 30, 40 years. She's rich. And yet I got other friends making millions. They're broke as a go.
You're right, because see, because when I got saved, and I found out, I listened to the preacher, he said, give and it shall be given unto you. And so he was saying, I said, yeah. I said, okay. He put $5 in his offering. I used to race, like they live, you got to go to the racetrack, and I was racing the racetrack. I said, boy, I need somebody to give me $5 back, because he told me, he said, give it, I had to give it. And I would go out there every Sunday, and before I leave, somebody would give me my money back. And so here it is, God's system, God's way of doing things. And so Court Williams, that he would talk about him a lot, trainer, motivator, leader, a pioneer, the toughest man, mentally tough, spiritually tough, with kindness dripping all over him, wanting to go back and bless families and bring them into a place where we can live a successful life. Like you said, talk about the money issue, having enough money to be comfortable, and do those type things. And so I was so glad when I came into the kingdom of God, that now he exposed me to leaders that I was looking for. My dad was a strong leader, but he came and did the best that he could do the right hand that he was there. And I'm so thankful and grateful to him. But now here I sit today with an interview with a more comedian. You know what I'm saying? And then you're so genuine, and I've been watching you, and your skill set is so natural. You're genuine from the heart, because you can feel, you can sense it. You care about people. And I said, hey, man, this guy got something. And I said, yeah, I want to be able to hit the ball like this. I want to be able to stand to the plate and hit the ball and be successful. But I can leave a legacy for my children, children. I can leave a legacy for my brothers, for my uncles, and my nieces, for my nephews, to know that Primerica can be a tool and a catalyst and a door that can open us to change us culturally, spiritually, financially. That it will change our community in the surrounding areas where I live at. Because I want to be like you, I want to be able to give back. And so we're talking about that. A lot of people having so many financial challenges, and how does Primerica fit into that challenge? Then, we say, hey, you said, get a financial education, have a financial game plan, and then, get a financial coach or a mentor, somebody that knows more than you know. I was telling the guy, I said, man, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in trouble. Yeah. And so they're talking about building wealth by investing. Talk a little bit about that, and once you talk about that, we'll throw the interview out. I think that.
Okay. Yeah, there's 2 ways to build wealth. And I think you ought to do both at the same time. I was very lucky to be mentored by Williams, who built the biggest financial service company in the biggest industry there was and brought them to their knees, became a multi-billionaire. But he taught us, he said, get your own financial house so you'll learn how to manage your own personal finance, so you got a personal financial plan. But I don't think I listened to that as readily as I should have initially, because that wasn't my interest. But when he said leadership, when he said build a business, I thought, man, this is for me, because I was a coach. That's where I came from, basketball coach. I said, so this could be like, a lot of people ask me, how in the world did you make that transition so easily in a business? And I never looked at business. I looked at it like it was coaching. I was just coaching adults versus 19, 20, 22-year-olds. I was coaching adults now, but the same concepts. People want to be motivated, educated. They want to be loved. They want to be encouraged. They want to have, Vince Lombardi said, the number one leadership role of any parent, coach, teacher is to breathe belief in the people, because most people lack that belief. So you look at financial independence, they need to break away from that bondage of thinking, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm not going to be rich, I came from this. No. You got to break those shackles and think, no, I can be, I will be. They don't have somebody else in their life breathing out, because it's so easy. I'll be honest with you, I'm being real transparent in this. Not ego, not pride, is a fact. Nobody ever told me in my life, you're not going to do this, you can't do this. It didn't happen, because I believe when that happens to you, the reason is you either give people permission or you give them a reason to doubt you. Yeah. I try to never give anybody a reason or permission to ever doubt me. Yeah. Never, ever, ever. Because I never want to give them a reason, or he's not this, he's not that. No, and they're going to be, maybe I had limitations, but I never want to give them reason. Then I was never going to give them permission, because I was going to buck up. Nobody's going to talk to me and tell me something, so they didn't even try, because they knew I was going to come at them, okay? Maybe in a loving way, but I'm still going to come at them, right? But then the other side, I said, okay, I'm going to build a business. And if I build a business and a legacy, you said legacy, I got a picture of my kids up there, the legacy. And if I'm building a legacy, and I played college, I played high school, I played college. My son played high school, and he was a star. He came and said, Dad, I want to be X, Y, Z. I can teach you. I said, I can teach you that, Blake. And I said, I know how to do it. So when I tell you how to do it, you're asking me my opinion or my advice. My opinion, it doesn't matter. My advice, you need to listen to it, because that means it works or it doesn't work. Yeah. And then finally, a lot of times said, Pop, what did you do? Dad, how'd you do it? Okay, then we got the next one's coming. Now they're going to do the same thing. We want that legacy. And so a business legacy and a financial legacy are separate, but they could be the same. So I wanted the people I teach, hey, yeah, it's good for you to be financially independent, but how many people are teaching how to become financially independent? So become a financial literacy coach, and then become a business leader coach. Teach other people to build a business so they don't have to have it. Now, it's okay if they love their job, but most people don't love their job. They just, when you put up the interview, they believe in all their mindset. That's all they can do, and that's not true. What we've done at our company, we've taken average and ordinary people on the outside, but he said, Martin Williams said, you can never judge a human being by the outside. He said, you can't judge their heart. Put them on the field, beat them around a little bit, and see what they can play. And the ones who want to play, you don't know what they're capable of doing. I see housewives with our company making millions of dollars. Plant workers, pipe fitters, basketball coaches, school teachers. Then I see doctors and engineers. It doesn't matter. They come from all walks of life, but we give everybody a chance, an equal opportunity. And then if you can make it, the cream always rises. But they need that people breathe. And Art Williams, nobody I've ever seen ever could breathe the belief. I played for a guy named Dale Brown. He was the same way. He could make you. We beat my senior year. We beat 8 out of the top 13 teams in the nation. We beat the number 2 team in the nation like a drum. We should never beat them, but we beat because he had us believing. It was the Goliath. He made us believe. And the year before, we were predicting we wouldn't win that many games. We crushed everybody. Why? That one man breathed belief into us. He believed more in us than we could. And that's your job in leadership, and to breathe belief in the people, but that's your job in parenting and in marriage and in everything. And everybody's got, Martin Luther King said, anybody can lead because anybody can serve.
Yeah.
And it's all about servant leadership, and those who seek to be first have to be served, to be, forget about the title, pull out the towel.
That's it. That's it.
Feet.
Yeah, you got to be a servant, and pride is a share, because I just say this, coming into Primerica, I had a look at it. So, they was going through, watching the presentation, your mind taking you. So it took about 4 months for my pride to get out. And I told my coach, about Victoria, the reason I'm not where I need to be is that I got an issue on the inside. It's called pride. And I'm telling you because, like you were talking about getting it on the inside.
Right.
And some of the stuff that we got on the inside need to get out, before something come in. And it's hard to admit that you got an issue.
Right.
The first way to get out of that issue is to, just to go, I say, you got it. And I told him, I said, man, I'm fighting. I said, because I had a little taste of success. I'm not a multi-millionaire, but I had a little taste of success.
Yeah.
And I said, sometimes that taste of success will make you prideful. And I said, but God brought me here to you to be a world in Primerica in order to take me and make me more than what I was. And so now, after I made that transition, I told him, I looked at, I was very sensitive, and I kind of teared up a little bit. Then I started to hear those same presentations again, and now my ear open. And now I was hearing and understanding. And so here it is today that we come to a place that success is one of the greatest countries that you could ever live in. When I went to Africa in 2010 on a mission trip, when I came back, I told myself, when I get to Atlanta, I'm going to get again.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm glad to be around those guys. And I'm going to say this, Tori Phillip, Mr. Goodlow, Tori always said that he thinks all right to be a copycat as long as you copy the right.
Right, exactly right.
So,
thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
God bless you, and take care.
That is the absolute maximum. You can't do no more than all you can do.
It was a vision. You gotta see the vision. Yeah, give it all you got. Make sure you're staying on your mission. We the truth. We motivated. Bring out all the truth. We the Arizona Basin. We ain't got nothing to lose. What it do? All the RVP. Raise it to the roof. It's the leadership that lead the ship, and we gon' lead the truth. From the rep to the senior rep, district and the